For my learning project, I've decided to try and learn how to juggle 2 to 3 tennis balls. As a young child, I had heard about juggling and even seen street performers in the city performing this skill. Through these experiences, I had gained what Piaget called prior knowledge. Therefore, in my first step to mastering juggling, I decided that I would use this prior knowledge that I had gained through seeing others perform this skill and attempt to try and juggle myself. Quite quickly, I learned that my prior knowledge wasn't enough. I only managed to be able to juggle 2 tennis balls successfully using my prior experiences. But as soon as I added in a third ball, I could not successfully juggle. This first step helped me to establish what I need to work on and how I could go about this in order to be a competent juggler going forward. After my first attempt at juggling 3 balls, it was clear to me that I was in a zone of proximal development. As theorized by Vygotsky, this zone indicates what the learner can achieve independently. But then outside of this, in order to learn, we need help from a more knowledgeable other. This is known as the socio-cultural learning theory. So then, the next step I took was to use the socio-cultural theory and seek a more knowledgeable other in the hope that this more knowledgeable person could help to scaffold and support my learning through communication and dialogue. A good friend of mine, who is an experienced juggler, came over to my house to give me a few tips on how to improve my juggling. Through this communication, I changed a few aspects of how I was juggling before, and I was then able to successfully complete 1 round of a 3-ball juggle. It was still evident that my juggling was not good enough, and I was intrinsically motivated to keep going and get at least 2 to 3 rounds of consecutive juggling successfully completed. My last step was to Google how to juggle. By reading numerous websites and watching step-by-step YouTube tutorials, I was able to acquire and process new information. This is known as cognitive orientations to learning, and for cognitivists, this type of learning focuses on internal mental processes. After taking in this new information, it was then time I put everything I had learned into practice. By adding to my prior knowledge and making sense of my new learning experiences, I was able to construct my new knowledge and apply it to the new skill I was learning. This is a constructivist orientation to learning. And finally, there was success. With repetition, perseverance, and putting everything I had learned into practice, I was able to juggle consecutively. I hope you enjoy my video on how to learn to juggle.